Hey lasers, it's Wazell. Thanks for listening. Just a heads up, this is the YouTube edited version of the show. This is not the fully envisioned version of the show because of copyright laws. A lot of the music has been removed. So if you want that version, please go to horophilia.com and look for Bananalaser Podcast. Thanks, lasers. Keep on banana-ing. Keep on banana-ing. Thanks.
Do you or any member of your family have a problem with monkeys, chimps, or orangutans?
Are these pesky primates invading your home, looking for shelter?
Does the constant squealing and crying of these pets keep you awake at night?
Are you constantly dodging fecal matter being thrown around your house?
If this sounds like you and your loved ones, then we have the solution.
Bananalaser.
Bananalaser.
Never be fearful of your children watching these beasts fornicate or masturbate again.
Bananalaser.
Bananalaser.
That's right, with
Bananalaser.
You don't have to live with this problem anymore. Just simply aim and pull the trigger. You'll blast, zap, and blow these troublesome monsters to kingdom come.
Just 3 easy payments of $79.99, and this death ray will be on your doorstep in 3 to 6 months. Bananalaser.
Bananalaser. 100% fine quality Filipino craftsmanship made by the most well-trained 10-year-olds.
So order Bananalaser
Bananalaser.
today at 314-720-8842 or bananalaser@gmail.com. And also Bananalaser makes the perfect gift for any occasion.
Hope to hear from you soon. Just remember,
Bananalaser.
take your stinky paws off me, you damn dirty ape.
What's up, assholes, and welcome to the Laser Lounge. It's another edition of Bananalaser. My name is Matt, Wazell if you're nasty, and with me, as always, is a superstar podcaster, the most handsomest guy of the year, I would say, Dave Z. What the fuck is up, Dave Z?
Superstar. I'll take that. I'll take superstar.
Yeah, there you go.
Right on. You're a superstar yourself, brother. You know? Fucking love. All love in the Laser Lounge today.
Oh, thank you. Is this, yeah, and you're looking so well, you didn't put on any holiday weight, it looks like. As I'm sitting across from you at the table here, where we podcast,
I'll tell you.
You're looking well. You're looking good.
Well, thanks, man. I'm hiding it well. I put on 9 pounds since we started this shit. It's because all the boozing I've been doing during the shows, I think.
Yeah.
And all of that, and I grew a beard and everything, and I'm looking like Santa myself right now, actually.
Yeah,
I think anyway.
My beer baby's definitely getting bigger.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, but yeah. So
the New Year's coming though, man. I'm for the first time I'm gonna fall in line and do what everybody else does. And I'm gonna do the fucking New Year's resolution. I'm gonna fucking lose the weight I gotta lose. I'm gonna be on that fucking bandwagon for the first time. But whatever.
Well,
enough about my weight. Sorry.
Best of luck to you, sir. It's the follow through that's the hardest part, but best of luck. Did you get everything that you wanted for Christmas? Did Santa surprise you with everything that you had on your list? Or maybe you were too naughty this year. I don't know.
I kind of did get lucky, actually.
Mm-hmm. Good.
I got lucky. I'll say that. Yeah, yeah. My daughter did something nice, and with my wife's help, and so
that's
that
sweet.
was good.
Yeah.
So, and what about you?
Well, I mean, I didn't get my Nintendo Entertainment System that I've been wanting since 1985. But
Fuck, I should have sent you that.
Yeah, maybe next year. Maybe next year. I tell you what, this pile of lumps of coal is really starting to add up. But, oh well.
Attaboy. Yeah, fuck. I got suspended at work too, so
Hey, bonus. So you don't have to go to work.
For 3 days. Too bad they didn't fall on Christmas Day. It would have been perfect. Yeah, but yeah.
That's awesome.
But whatever. Yeah, so that was the goal for me.
Yeah. I did get a gift from, it wasn't labeled who it was sent from, but it was the special edition of Friday the 13th Part 6, Jason Lives. I don't know why somebody sent that to me.
It was probably Jared.
Yeah, probably.
Sorry, buddy. Sorry.
Watch it again, God damn it. It's good. It's good. Well, it is good and it isn't, I mean,
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
it's definitely better than Halloween 5, so.
Oh yeah, shit. And that's been our year: Halloween and Friday the 13th.
Yeah, holy shit. So
since we started,
yeah,
which is cool, which is fine with me. Fuck it, it's been fun right along. So whatever,
whatever indeed. So so this episode, guys, it's the year's end, and so like most podcasts of this stature, we're gonna do a little countdown, little rear end review of the 2013 horror movies. And Dave and I, we've compiled a list, each our own, of the top 13 horror movies of 2013. 13 and 13, baby.
Yeah, 13.
Yeah,
a good number.
Yeah, the luckiest number. We haven't divulged the list to each other, so it will be, we're not acting. It's we definitely don't know each other's number or lists, so it might be kind of fun to hear our reactions, because I think we might not agree on every single one, but we'll see.
Oh no, we won't.
We'll see. There's a lot of different. I mean, really, 2013 was a great year for horror fans and horror films in general, because there was a lot of stuff that came out this year. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of sequels, a lot of remakes, but at the same time, there was so much content that came to theaters, and even a lot of good stuff that was straight to VOD and Blu-ray. But it was a great year for horror movies overall. Whether or not you like the films, hate the films, whatever, just the content, the amount of good content that's being put out there, I thought it was a great year overall.
Yeah, it was a great year. Lots of stuff.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's all over. Even TV shows and just a whole. I mean, I haven't seen this much shit drop since fucking like the 80s. It's just been non-stop horror movies coming out here, there, and everywhere. And yeah, and then some of them have been very good.
And some of them haven't.
That's for sure. I will say this though. I'll say that this year is a movie full of fucking 4-star movies, a bunch of them. But I don't have one movie that's a 5-star movie. I think it was a great year, but I don't think we had a fucking, you know what I mean, a nail home 100% fucking a movie that I give a 5-star rating. But a shitload of 4, so that's good. That makes up for it.
Yeah, shitload of 4s, man. That's Dave Zendano, 2013, shitload of 4s.
Nice.
Yeah. All right, so let's fucking kick this thing off. Who wants to go? You want to go, Dave? I want to go. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know.
I'm kind of. Well, let me go. I'll go.
Do it up, brother.
You're going to get a kick out of my number 13, I think, right here. So, yeah, we're doing 13 and 13. And I'll start with the bottom. The bottom 13! And my number 13 pick is Lords of Salem. Shebang!
Motherfucker! I can't believe we're starting off with it. Holy fuck! We're starting off and we're fucking finishing off with it.
Yeah.
Holy fuck! I was hoping you were gonna leave it off. I really was. I didn't think you liked it. I'm surprised it made the list.
I tell you what.
Just put it there for novelty.
Nope. It actually wasn't going to be on the list, but I had John Dies at the End on the list, and the more I thought about it, I was like, well, that is a special genre movie, but I didn't really see it as a horror movie, so I took it off the list. And so I was like, well, what am I going to put on there? I'm like, well, Lords of Salem, right? Because kind of fits right in. Uh-huh. Yep. So.
After hearing your review of it.
Well, to be honest, my list, I mean, when I actually sat down and thought about it, all of the new releases I saw this year, I probably saw about 15. I watched a bunch of older movies, but as of all the movies that came out this year, I thought I saw everything, but I know you saw a whole lot more, Dave. So my list, yeah, that one just snuck in at the end. Now, did I like that movie? No, not really. I think it has its place, and I think it's the style of it. There's enough to be talked about there. And so for that reason, yeah, I think it deserves to be on a list somewhere. Now, it's number 13, so I don't really think that highly of it. So.
Yeah, but still, it's on the list. It's the like you said, there was a lot of movies released this year.
Yeah,
and granted, you didn't see all of them, but
yeah,
and who does? But so it's kind of like Lords of Salem by default.
yeah, essentially.
But you can at least appreciate some of it, which is
no, absolutely. I mean, it's very it's very artistic, endeavor. But for me, it fell flat in many ways. So, but it's all good.
Well, people know that I'm a fan of that movie, I think. And, I have a feeling we should probably just wait to fucking I talk about it again later.
Oh man!
But I will say I'm glad you put it on there, and I'm glad you appreciated something about it.
Yeah.
So I appreciated fucking a whole lot more about it, but. Like I said, there still was not a 5-star movie. So, whatever. Take it what you will, for fucking whatever.
All right, so what you got, number 13?
Okay.
13!
My number 13 is actually a bit of a surprise that I put it on. At first, I didn't think I was gonna. But I watched it again, and my number 13 is Mama.
Oh, okay. See, this is one of those movies where I didn't see.
You didn't see it?
No, I didn't see it. So this one didn't fall on my list. I kind of think that it would have knocked some of these other ones out of there, but I just ended up not seeing that one. Just straight up ghost stories like this. Sometimes they'll pull me in. This one, it didn't really. I think I'd enjoy it, but I just never got around to it.
Oh yeah, check it out, man. It's a good ghost story. See, I'm not going to spoil it for you, but the reason it's number 13, it could have been lower maybe, but there's something that doesn't make sense in the beginning. I don't like the way it starts. We'll have to talk about it on a later show, but there's just, for some reason something happens 5 years later that doesn't make sense, that it would take 5 years for that thing to occur. And it's just one of those things that just completely, for me, was like, wow, it's a big plot hole to me. And it's right off the bat. Once you can get past that, and the ending is a little. See, I can't get into it too much, but I will say I like it because it's a classic type ghost story. It's a little bit like, I don't want to compare it to The Grudge, but they do kind of lift a little bit of stuff from what they did in The Grudge with this ghost, and and I don't mind that. And I fucking love The Grudge, and I just finished watching every fucking Ju-on movie, 4 Ju-on movies, and then The Grudge 1 and 2, and then the Ju-on White Ghost, Black Ghost that came out like last year.
Jesus.
In like a 3-day span with my wife. Watched them all because I fucking love them, And so coming off of that, it's weird because what a difference between American and Asian horror. And I'm going to talk more about it later. Actually, for some reason, I remember there was something going on with it. But anyway, this movie here, it almost seems like it's foreign horror. Because there's weird, unexplained things in it, kind of. It would have been better suited if it was fucking, honestly. For some reason, it just would have felt better if it was a foreign film. And I can't really explain unless you've seen it, or maybe the people that are listening will know what I'm saying. But just the style of it.
It felt like a Hollywood churned, like a Hollywood just churned out another ghost story kind of movie. Is that maybe?
But they did some weird things in it so that they don't hold water in most American films.
Ah, okay.
It's just hard. It's hard to say. There's just like differences between countries' films, and in American movies, everything kind of has to be explained, and in a lot of foreign movies, it's just kind of open to suggestion. And so you'll see something happen for no reason, like a butterfly just keeps appearing in this room or something, and you won't, I don't know. It's tough to do. I can't really explain it, but I did enjoy it, and it's PG-13, so it took me by surprise. But Del Toro was involved, and I gave it a shot, and yeah, it was good.
Okay.
So I suggest it. Yeah.
I'll definitely check it out eventually. But yeah, so cool. That's your 13. Let's move on down. My number 12. Number 12 is is American Mary, and I really like this movie. I mean, it's not really the movie I want to watch over and over again. That's why I got it on number 12. But I thought it was an interesting idea. It kind of delved into a world that we're have never seen before in film. And Catherine Isabel, oh my
Oof.
God.
Wow,
Holy
right?
shit. Yeah. I never, I always thought she was cute, but holy shit. Peel it back. Are you kidding
Yes,
me?
I agree, and I agree with. Matter of fact, I agree with everything because this is my number 12 also. So,
Hey,
yes, we
that's probably
fucking
the only time we're going to match up.
probably, yeah,
Yeah.
probably. But yeah, and I hear you what you say about her. She's always been kind of cute. I didn't, whatever it is, just she looks fantastic in this movie,
Oh, yeah.
and she does a great job in the lead. You know,
Yeah, she definitely carries the film.
yeah, it's a great story. I really do. I almost hated lore, but
Mhm.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I just did. I just found that rewatchability wouldn't really be there, and so yeah, that's why I put it back on number 12. But overall, it's good. It's definitely not something you should ignore.
Oh no, see it. I think it's very good. I
Hmm.
think yeah, I watched it for the second time just the other day,
Oh, no
preparing
shit.
for this. I showed it to my wife actually. I said, "You know what? I think you'd like American Mary," and I was right. She
Hmm.
liked it, and she even said it's kind of a fucking chick flick horror movie. She said, and I go, "Well, yeah." I said I wouldn't go that far. I don't think it's quite a chick flick horror movie, but it is from the female perspective, and you're sympathetic with her,
Hmm.
and then you see what goes down, and then you see how she fucking flips later, and then you know, then it really does become a horror movie
Hmm.
because it's dramatic for the first half, but very good, and then it just,
I
as it goes on.
hmm Now I was confused in a couple parts, like with the twins and the operation they wanted. What did they want? They wanted their limbs to be exchanged. I was confused.
Yes, they exchanged limbs,
Okay.
and just one of them, their left arm or something,
Ugh.
whatever the fuck it
Yeah.
was, and then
Okay.
they did one other procedure. What the fuck was the other procedure? They did one other thing. I forgot what it was. I think they might have given them horns or something.
Yeah, because
I don't
this
know. There was a diagram of that.
the storytelling style of this movie was kind of cryptic, sort of. And a couple of times I was just like, "Wait, what's happening?" I was confused sometimes, which was it's fine in certain movies. That's just how they want to tell the story. But yeah, I just didn't have all the answers laid out for me. Okay.
That was a yeah. I could see that, and
Mm-hmm.
then, but I think everything else was pretty. For the most part, it was straightforward. I think that I retained it. As being that kind of a
Mm-hmm.
movie.
Yeah.
That it was. But you know what? It's kind of like a
Yeah, I'm
Conan.
just an idiot. So.
No, fuck, no. But yeah, between the two of us, I think only reason I could even see, I can barely talk, but the only reason I can even fucking am saying that is because I just watched it recently for the second
Mm-hmm.
view.
Okay.
So it's fresh in my head. But it definitely reminded me of like a Cronenberg type movie,
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, yeah. He's
body
definitely
horror,
yeah. The body. Yeah, that's his genre. That fucker man.
basically,
Yeah, body.
right?
Yeah, with Videodrome and fucking Crash and all that weird shit.
Definitely,
Um. So yeah, that was our number 12. Surprisingly, let's move down to
yeah.
my number 11. 11, and that is The Purge.
Aha.
This movie I did enjoy quite a bit. I felt that the advertising for it led me to believe it was going to be vastly different than what it actually was. But at the same time, it's the whole sociological ideas behind what it is, the purge, the actual purge, is so insane that it begs to be told in some kind of story format. This it led to this story, which is just more of it's sort of a home invasion story, but it also sort of isn't. I mean, the villain didn't come in until well into the movie. I saw the guy as the main villain and stuff like that, but and it had some twists and turns. But to me, the overall idea of the purge and how a government would actually put something like this into effect, to me, is more interesting than this small, minute story that they told. But I still found it exciting and stuff like that. I just think that if they're going to do a sequel, which they probably will, they'll have more money and stuff like that. They might be able to elaborate on that more or show it on a bigger scale, something like that.
I like it a lot as well. I
Hmm.
didn't put it on the list, but it was there was like three or four that were left off the
Yeah.
list, and that was one I kept adding and crossing off. I couldn't decide whether it was. So I am very fond of it as well, and I agree with what you said about the the whole idea of the purge itself being great and the reasons for it and everything else. I think is, but like also like you said, the second half and the story of the people inside is also intriguing as well.
Hmm. Yeah.
So it was really good, and I thought the villain, the main guy, was pretty charismatic.
Oh yeah,
So
he was great. I just thought he was
yeah,
going to be more of a focus in the movie, and it really wasn't. He kind of came in later, and so there had a lot more elements going on, a lot more characters going on, a lot more stuff to deal with, and so yeah. So like there's two things they really played up in the trailer: a guy in a mask at the door, and then this little that doll remote control car that looked all fucking creepy and shit in the commercial.
what?
Yeah,
Really? I didn't even notice that in the
dude,
commercial.
they put yeah, dude. That's like him in the mask and the doll, and those two images. Like, oh, this is a scary horror movie, and I didn't really know what exactly the doll was and all that stuff. But then come to find out, no, it's not really a horror. It's just something they use that looks horrific that they can put in this movie and say it's a horror movie kind of thing.
Wow, it's weird to hear you say that because
Hmm.
I saw this. I didn't see the commercial per se, but I saw the trailer two, possibly three times going to the movies, and it was all spelled out in there, and that was the selling point for me because they just hammered on the idea of the
Hmm.
purge, and that's all I retained from it. That oh yeah, this is going on, and it looks like it's going to be a home invasion type thing, and they show the guy with the mask, and they discussed, crime is at an all-time low, unemployment's 1%. They spelled all that shit out to you. They fucking, they gave away a lot of that part, and that to me was like, oh, this is interesting. But I don't remember seeing that remote control thing in the commercial. That's fucking
That's just
interesting.
something my eye bulbs latched
Wow.
onto, and maybe I'm wrong, but that's just something I remembered, and so
But I liked it, and he's a fucking good actor, you know, straight up.
the
Ethan Hawke.
villain, oh, Ethan Hawke, yeah, he's good,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I do like him, and I liked him in Sinister, and I like him in
oh
this, and
yeah.
I haven't seen a whole hell of a lot with him in it, but what I've seen, I've liked him in, and I liked what they did with his character. I liked that he got fucking killed off later. I thought,
Spoiler.
oh yeah, sorry guys. Just
Yeah.
it's our 2013 wrap up show. It's gonna be, probably filled with spoilers. So I hope I didn't fuck anybody up with that one, but I I did like that twist, and I like the twist earlier, kind not twist, but aspect of it, and I like the guessing in the beginning, like when you don't know if the boyfriend is in on it or not,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
that type of thing. Yeah, see, and then you didn't know, and then the girl disappeared for a little bit, so you thought maybe the girl was in on it, and it went wrong. There was some guessing. I had an idea what was going to happen ultimately
Mm-hmm.
at the end, involving the people that it ended up being. But
The whole idea of, okay, if we give human beings 12 hours to release rage, essentially, and then they're
the rage.
yeah, and then they're not going to have it the rest of the year is so ludicrous. Like, uh, like if anything, it's going to create more violence because all year long you're going to be making a list, right? I mean,
Checking it twice,
yeah,
right?
anybody that cuts you off in traffic, you're going to be like, all right, I'm going to find out where you live, and
Right.
purge night. That's it. You're done. I'm killing you. I don't know.
Oh wow,
It,
I could see that too because I would there was a time in my life, not so much now, but yeah, I would have been that guy
yeah.
making those lists. It's
Yeah, you
true.
would have been the neighbor who's just sharpening his sword out in the driveway. It's like, well, he's purging tonight. Like what?
Right.
It's so
And they even said that in the thing. The wife said it to the husband, like Ethan Hawke said it to his wife or whatever. He's like, yeah, and he goes, yeah, Dad, look at this, so and so, like two of their buddies. Look at they're going out purging together tonight.
yeah,
No.
yeah,
As a matter of fact, it's just fucking normal. Nobody gives a fuck that that day your neighbor happens to be homicidal.
right, yeah,
Nobody
exactly.
cares.
It's so strange. I
It
mean,
is
it's fascinating to me because that's what
yeah.
I'm more fascinated by is the whole idea of it and how a government would put something like this into place and stuff like that. I find it fascinating. It's
Me
it's
too.
borderline ludicrous, but I still like it.
Yeah, I like to believe it would work, but we all know it wouldn't.
There's no
But
way.
when I first saw the trailer, I was like, wow, wow.
Maybe that could work.
Just for like 5 seconds, but I was like, oh, that's an idea.
All
But
right.
we all know it wouldn't work. But that like I said, that was the selling point, and that was good. An integral thing to the plot,
Yeah.
and it was still good. It wasn't fucking earth shattering, but it was good enough for your list, and just should have been on mine. Maybe by the end of it, I might even be saying that because a lot of people talked me out of it. Actually, they said,
Hmm.
"Don't bother. It's just your run of the mill." Home invasion type thing. And I was like, man, I can't believe that because, the premise of The Purge itself sounded so much different to me.
Hmm.
So I put it off, finally watched it, and I'm glad I did.
Hmm. Yeah. No,
Yeah, so,
it's
yeah, I
good.
recommend it. Yeah.
Number 11 for you. What you got?
11.
All right. Well, from one home invasion movie to another, I have You're Next as my number 11.
Really? Ah, okay.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm guessing you have it
I
much
mean,
lower.
yeah, I have it a little higher. I mean,
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun with that movie. I haven't watched it since. I don't know if it's out on video yet, but yeah, I thought that was a nice surprise little movie. Pretty straightforward, but it was well done. Uh, I just loved all the characters in it, and yeah, it had a lot of neat variety, some twists, cool looking villains. Yeah, I really enjoyed that flick.
I did too. I only saw it once as well, and I'm not 100% sure about the rewatchability. But no, it's not out. It's not out on
Hmm.
Blu-ray or whatever yet. So, but still, I will rent it or at least watch it again when it comes out.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a run out and buy. So I think for me that's probably why it's where it is on the list. Still liked it. I have nothing bad to say about it. It was a good horror movie. Good gore, good little twist. Fucking, it kept me intrigued. I like the home invasion. We talked about it on the show. We covered a whole show on this movie, and yeah, it was good, and we'll see again when it comes out. But yeah, fucking, it was a good movie.
Yeah.
I'll leave it at that. Home invasion, good to go. But we did a whole review on it, so I don't know if
I thought it was
anything else we could add.
home invasion. Yeah, I almost see it more as I guess it is more of a home invasion. I almost put it more in the slasher kind of realm, just because of the way the villains are dressed and stuff like that. So to me, it's a nice little kind of slasher film to put in the lexicon of good movies. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's definitely more of a home invasion kind of movie.
It reminds me of The Strangers, which is a
Yeah.
home invasion movie, and
Very
that's
much.
what it is. Yeah, the masks. I enjoy The Strangers more. Well, it's hard to say if I did. They're different movies, but they're not. They have similarities, but stylistically they're different. I don't know.
Mhm.
This was a little more action packed and a little more. It just seemed it seemed a faster paced movie, and The Strangers was a little. It had more
More
suspenseful.
suspense. Yep.
Yes, and I like the ending of this one too. I can't say I don't. So that was good. But I do like the mask. I wore that fucking mask on Halloween.
Yeah. Yeah. No shit. Yeah, it's a great look for the villains. Definitely loved it.
And we'll see when we watch it again what we think about it. But I figured you liked it more than me. I got that when we did the show.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I think we rated it the same. But I think you were more into that movie than I was. But I'm not. Hey, fuck it. It's number 11 on my list, and like we said, I watched a lot of movies, and it was a good year. So
Yeah, that's true. All right, so moving down, number 10
10.
for me, my 13 and 13 is one that really took me by surprise. This one came out of left field for me because I'm not really big on the series, the franchise. It's a sequel, Curse of Chucky.
Nice.
This movie, yeah, I was blown away. I mean, it's number 10, so it's not super high up, but it was so smart of them to not do a reboot / remake / whatever the fuck. It's a straight up sequel, and every single every other, the 5 other movies are still in continuity, and I thought that was a brilliant way to go. And it just changed the tone of it, It took a lot of the slapstick, funny, haha bullshit out, which I kind of don't like with those later movies, and made a straight sequel. I thought that was brilliant way to go. So
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I enjoyed it so much that I had to watch it again, and I watched it again today. As a matter of fact,
no shit.
Yeah, I watched it again today too. I wanted to make sure that I had it in the right spot because it really impressed me. I only saw it once, and I watched it the second time, and it's further high. It's higher on my list even more because of it. It was high before, but now it's even higher up.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's the best one since part one.
Yeah,
straight up.
I really can't speak for any of those because I haven't watched them since junior high or whatever. But so I don't know. But yeah, I found it to be entertaining, and yeah, I even had the entire movie spoiled for me because I thought, it's a fucking Chucky movie, So I was looking stuff up, listening to podcasts. I had 100% of this movie spoiled, and I still. And as I got that information, I was like, well, that's a fucking great idea. That's brilliant that they did that.
Right, right.
And so that made me want to see it more. So, yeah, just the fact that and it's the same guy who wrote all these movies. And,
yeah, he's written them all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, kudos to him for sticking to it and not going with what probably every other like the next one down my list is essentially a reboot, and kudos to him for not doing that, and just doing a straight sequel. Thank you, whatever your name is. I don't know.
Don Mancini.
Yeah, Mancini. There you go.
Yeah, and it's funny that he did them all, considering what we've come back from, especially with not Curse, with Bride and Seed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because they went into it went into a different direction in somebody, and it's hard to believe it's the same writer because of that. But he wrote the first one, so I can't really, knock him. But it's like he changed the tone of it, and then he changed it back because it isn't comedic like the other ones. Mm-hmm. It's just as much laughs in it, which are the light laughs, like it was in Child's Play 1.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't over the top. It fit perfectly. And this movie, it probably is everything they did about bringing it like full circle and fucking with Andy and with the whole situation, that they all their other families, and it was so well written. And then not just that it was well written, the characters were good. Fucking there was suspense in it.
There was a lot of twists. There was actually
yes.
I mean, there was a handful. I would say like 4 or 5, really. Characters, turning on one another and stuff like that. Lots of twists. It was pretty good. Definitely.
I'm telling you, I loved it. And it was great. I like what they did with the when they were having that dinner scene, and when somebody was poisoned. You didn't know who was gonna be. Yeah, you didn't know who was gonna be, what was gonna happen.
You weren't following that bowl as it turned around the table. Like, okay, that's the bowl right there. I'm following like a 3-card Monte kind of fucking.
I think the first time I watched it, I did, and today when I watched it, I just sat back and just fucking watch. And of course, my dumbass forgets everything. I had forgotten fucking what had happened. I had a feeling it was the one person that ended up being, but actually, I think I knew because I remember everybody else carried on throughout the film. So I'm like, well, it's got to be him. I just don't remember it. And then I saw it. It was a great fucking scene because the way he ultimately dies is fucking great. There's good gore in it too.
Yeah.
And the twist with the girl, and you think that the fucking what's her name? The hot chick, fucking.
I don't know.
The nanny, whatever, right? The nanny girl. You think that friggin' the husband's going after her, and it's in fact that's not the case. And oh man,
yeah, it was great. Well done.
Yeah. And then later on, the other part when they're talking about the doll, because we're gonna have to fucking do spoilers. I'm sorry, people. It's just fucking. There's no way this is gonna be entertaining unless we can say what the fuck we say. So I'm sorry, but the girl says that the guy says that he's recording on he put a nanny cam in Chucky, and then at the same time, the other girl, Fiona Dorff, who is fucking does a great job, by the way, and is very pretty. And but anyway, she does so well, and she's uncovering the whole Charles Lee Ray, or she's figuring shit out that Chucky's fucking whatever, what he is. And they had that confrontation between the two sisters, and she's like, "You know about the doll?" So she's talking about one thing, the girl's talking about something else, and it just plays so well. And that girl is what a character too. The dark haired sister, she's a fucking bitch. She plays it so well.
Yep.
You know, I just think it's all. There really is very few knocks I have on this movie. I think there's really nothing negative I could say about it.
I would have put it higher. I'm just not, the whole doll coming to get you storyline. I'm not super thrilled about it. I just always think, why don't you just kick that doll on the head and go about your business? But they did a great job in this movie. They made the lead character, paralyzed.
Yes, right.
She can't kick the fucking doll on the head and run
right.
off. So perfect. Yeah.
And all the kills made sense when you seen them happen. They are things that, because people are so fucking blown away by the fact that he starts talking, there isn't even time to react. They're just like doing something, and then he'll do it all of a sudden quick. Like he'll bring up the knife and your fucking eye, boom, and he gets the fucking girl in the eye. And that scene was great. The eyeball bouncing. Oh man,
yeah.
I had a lot of fun with it, and it had a bit of everything. I'm telling you, I'm high on this movie.
Took me by surprise, definitely.
Yes, and that's just it. And because it took me by surprise, it impressed me even more.
I'm afraid that they'll probably make a sequel very quickly after this, but I don't think that will be able to do what this movie did, just because it'd been so many years removed, and it took so many people by surprise at how good it was. So, I mean, they have some ways to go story-wise, but at the same time, it just won't have the impact.
No, it won't be as good because they've played all their fucking cards in this one hand.
Yeah.
They did the whole background on fucking Charles E. Ray, and they showed all that. They show his past and how, and that was new stuff. I mean, we'd seen it before, but not explained the way this was and what his intentions were. Then the thing at the very end, and with the Barkley, Andy Barkley, and the other people, and I forget their name, but whatever. They played every card they had in this fucking movie, so it could still be good. It could still be more serious in tone like this was, but I heard they're calling it Child's Play 7, so I kind of like that idea.
I do like that. I miss numbers and sequels so bad. When they have, it's just so confusing. Like, even this movie, Curse of Chucky, it's like, well, I'm going to get that confused with Seed and Bride of Chucky for the rest of my life. Call it Child's Play 6. Just do that.
Right.
Yeah. So,
and I really hated fucking Seed. I didn't like Bride, and I fucking straight hated Seed. So that, when this like taken by surprise is a fucking understatement. I thought this series was fucking, dead after those two movies. So
yeah, me too. So
when do you see a comeback? I'm sorry, I'm rambling about it. But when do you see a fucking series come back that good after being so shitty?
I don't know. Nothing
That's
springs to mind. Yeah, no, nothing comes to mind.
Yeah. So.
So that's my number 10. What you got, Dave?
10.
Number 10. Now I don't think you saw this one.
Okay.
This is it's actually a remake of a Spanish movie, I believe, but this is the American version. But I haven't seen the original, and I watched this solely because it came out in 2013. So I wanted to make sure because I heard some people recommend it, and that is called We Are What We Are.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Haven't seen it. You were telling me about it the other day. So that's your number 10. Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, and it's good. Check it out. It's a slow burn, but when you get to the end, it's well worth it.
Okay.
And it's cool. And I don't want to spoil it for you, or what are you gonna do? So.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Spoil it for the listeners. Sorry, guys. but I won't spoil it for
Okay. Cool. Well, We Are What We Are. I'll check it out. All right. So number 9.
9.
For me is a reboot sequel. I don't know. This fits in so many weird places, and that's Texas Chainsaw 3D. I think that's the title. I think they dropped the massacre. I had this was like the first horror movie of the year, and I haven't watched it since, and I probably never will because I just had a lot of fun with it in the theater that I was willing to ignore all the crazy bullshit that comes, in the end of the movie and stuff like that. This movie has, I would say, the best Leatherface chase scenes in any Texas Chainsaw movies, because they did it right. They took out the family elements. They just made it all about Leatherface and him chasing young people and killing them. Now, later in the movie, that turns into something else, and it's not as good. But for like 45 minutes in this movie is just puts a smile on my face. And I haven't gone back and seen it since, but I had a blast watching it in a theater. So that's number 9 for me.
That's cool. And we discussed this before,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember what you said, that they turned it into an actual Leatherface movie.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that's one good thing about it. But
there's tons of bad in it, unfortunately, and that taints my second viewing of it, and I probably won't watch it because of that. There's so many flaws and plot holes so big you can fucking land a plane in, but I can't deny the fact that you got such a great villain, and he's never truly been on screen the way you want him to be, like a Jason Voorhees kind. And this movie actually did that. If only for 30 minutes or whatever, it still worked for that 30 minutes. And so for that, it made my list.
Well, I might watch it again because I watched it twice, and we discussed it before. And the first time I liked it. The second time I liked it less. But for some reason, I'm thinking about watching it again. And it didn't make my list, but I'm not 100% decided on it.
Yeah.
I know that I said the second time it went down, but I don't know. I think if I can ignore some things, there's some good going on in there.
I absolutely despise this phrase I'm getting ready to say, but
fuck.
It's a turn your brain off kind of movie. Do not think about it, but yeah.
Yeah, there is that one phrase, huh?
Yeah, I can't say, well, if you just turn your brain off, it's a good movie. Well, then it's not a good movie. I want to be provoked and shit like that. I don't want to be a zombie watching something and just he got kicked in the balls. I don't want that. But at the same time, there's just some shit in here you just have to ignore in order to enjoy the parts that I enjoyed. That's just for me. So
Speaking of phrases, what did she say? Fucking do it
God.
up, cuz.
Yeah.
What was it?
do your thing, cuz.
Do your thing, cuz.
Yeah, it's just terrible. And
that was unfortunate.
Yeah, and just the fact that her character could go from being chased by this guy and her friends being murdered by him to, oh, you're my cousin and you're my family and you're being put upon by the society and the townsfolk and I'm going to join forces with you. Like, that is fucking ludicrous.
The cop shop curse, brother.
Yeah, exactly.
The first half was good.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the first half was good. I liked how it picked up where the last one left off and the way they handled that. Wasn't perfect, but it was okay. And I thought the first half was good, and then it went down from there. But
yeah, nosedive. But that's my number 9. So what you got? What are you looking at, Dave?
9.
Now my number 9 is another. You probably haven't seen it, and it's one of those movies that's some people might not put on the list of horror, but I started looking lists up, and this was on a lot of lists.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's a movie called Stoker.
Oh, okay.
So you didn't see this, did you?
Didn't see it, but I love the actors in it.
Oh man, yes.
Yeah, there's a lot of good people, and I want to get to that eventually. Is that a vampire movie?
No, it's nothing like that.
Okay.
It's a straightforward. There's no fantasy elements. There's no fucking supernatural or anything like that.
Oh, okay.
It's fucking human beings.
Gotcha.
And you're doing fucking fucked up human things. One person in particular, actually. But you know what it is? It's fucking the way it's filmed. It's well made, and it's kind of artsy in parts. And I found that lately, I'm as much as I love fucking 80s slashers, I'm gravitating more lately on things that are like feast for the eye, that are just really good to look at.
Mm-hmm.
You
mean just good filmmaking with set design and artistry in that kind of realm. Is that what you mean?
Yes, but I think taking the word artistry and pushing it, like Stanley Kubrick in like Lords of Salem and shit like that, where I really enjoy the things that I'm seeing on screen.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some of that in this movie. Yeah, it's almost like I think it's because I picked that up from foreign horror. I think I picked that up from Asian horror and Italian in particular, that they're more artsy with their shit. And when I see movies, American movies do that, I just I get into it now. So
yeah, it's good to see American movies take that and not because they feel like they have to spell every single thing out to the audience and leave nothing to the imagination, and just everything has to be summed up at the end and stuff like that. So that's good.
It's and Nicole Kidman.
Yeah,
I love her choice of. She has a great fucking agent because I love her choice of roles.
No, she's great. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it takes a lot of unconventional fucking movies and always nails it. Like she did fucking Eyes Wide Shut, and she did the others, and what's that movie To Die For? And
To Die For, yeah, that's a good movie.
Yeah, it is. It is a good one. Not a lot of people know about it, but that's good. And what's that other one she did? I didn't see it. That's the one I didn't see. It was the Stepford Wives remake.
Yeah, that's probably not very good. And
I've heard some people.
She was also in Bewitched, I think, and I don't think that's very good.
Oh well, no, it's not very good. but the other roles I spoke of, I always liked. I liked her in those roles.
Regardless, she's a great actress, definitely.
Yeah, she is.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a good movie, and it's a little mysterious, and also, like I said, a little artsy. But it's cool. It's also a slow burn. Okay. It's another one that it's not for everybody, but. The last movie I said, We Are What We Are, and this movie Stoker are slow burns that, in my opinion, really pay off in the third act. So,
okay,
it's that kind of a movie.
Cool. I'm excited to check it out. So yeah,
8.
Number 8 of my 13 and 13 is another sequel. Lots of them this year, and that is Hatchet 3. Yeah.
Wow.
Hatchet 3. Yeah, I the first time I watched this movie, I just wasn't feeling it. I'm like, I'm done with this shit. It's just all run and gun, kind of who gives a shit, let's kill some people. But, I guess I just wasn't in the right frame of mind because I watched it again, and, I was just ready for it. I'm like, okay, yeah, I know what this is. Let's get on with it. There's a lot of bad stuff in this movie, but I think all the effects and the fun that Adam Green injects into a movie like this pulls it through. So it's not the greatest movie of all time, but as far as like sitting down having fun watching a crazy movie, you can't go wrong with this. I think, and at like an hour and 20 minutes, it's over in a blink of an eye. So yeah, Hatchet 3.
Well,
like it.
I'll tell you what. I have to do what you did because I watched it the one time and I had the same reaction.
I couldn't even get through it the first time. I'm like, no, I got like 50 minutes in. I'm like, I can't fucking do this anymore. Derek Mears and his character and stuff like that. I was just like, and what's her name in the lead?
Daniel Harris was a whole.
She is terrible in this one.
Why did they do that to her?
She's just really bad, and she's literally in the back seat of the film and in the movie, in the cop car and shit like that. It's just like, but I got over all that, and then I found a place where I can enjoy the movie. Yeah.
Well, I have to, I mentally checked out myself as I was watching it. And I don't know why. I didn't expect it. Like, I like 1. I'm actually, we discussed it on the last show. Hatchet's fine. Hatchet 2, I didn't like it as much. It's nowhere near as good as 1. But I thought that this would be like Hatchet 2, and it would be, a little too much over-the-top comedy, but more of the same. And it wasn't. It was worse to me. And I mentally checked out. Nothing held my attention for some reason. And Danielle Harris, and I'm not saying that she's the greatest actress. I'm not a big fan of her. I don't hate on her, but I don't think it's her fault. I think it's what they asked her to do in the performance. It was her character more than it was her performance.
Yeah.
The direction they took with her character didn't make sense. She was likable in the other one. You fell for her. In this movie, you just fucking, I don't know. They turn you off to her.
Yeah. But
so I'm surprised they made the list for you because I didn't know you watched it a second time. We discussed it once before, and I remember we both had the same reaction to it.
Yeah, because I actually blind bought it. It's one of those things where I have the other two, and so I was like, well, I'm just gonna buy it. I'm gonna like it, and yeah, it was just it was difficult for me to get through. So yeah, if I own something, I owe it to myself to justify why I paid X amount of money for it. So
true. Yeah, you got to give it a couple viewings. Well, yeah, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that, man. I'm the same way. Yep.
All right. So moving down your list, Dave.
8.
All right. Well, this is a movie number 8 that some people might argue is really 2012, but it dropped in in the United States the first week of January. So it was filmed in 12, like so many movies were. It was released elsewhere, but it came out in 13 here. So and that movie is The Bay.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Bay, yeah. I only watched part of this.
Man, get on it.
Yeah, I know. And I was enjoying it, but something came up, and I just didn't end up finishing it. And so, yeah, I'll definitely go back because I'm a fan of found footage, and this one, and especially when it's done right, because you can do it wrong 6 ways to Sunday. But this one looks like it is actually done well, and so, yeah, I'll definitely go back and check this out. Okay, so this is your number 8. Awesome.
It's very realistic. And there's not really a dull moment. They go back and forth, in my opinion. That's the way and it's short. It's an hour and 25 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, it's fucking... Once again, there's nothing bad I can say about this movie. I really like it. And it took me by surprise as well. And I like the found footage, too. And it's not easy to make a good found footage. Found footage.
I'm going to check that genre out. And next on the found footage list.
Sounds fucking pornographic. Found footage,
Oh, God. I'm going to have to look that up. It probably is.
I bet that word footage is used fucking in pornography somewhere. I don't know.
Oh, my God.
I don't know.
Yeah, get over there and footage that bitch.
I don't fucking know. But yeah, it's a good movie, and it flies by, and it really seems realistic to me. And the premise of it is something that's fucking realistic.
Oh yeah,
that you could see happening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like it's a slant on many things. But it's fucking cool, man. It's a very good movie, and yeah, finish it up. Maybe we'll talk about it again. I don't know. It's
I enjoyed the style of how it all came together. They used multiple forms of media to kind of tell this through line of this town and stuff. So I enjoyed how they did that.
Yes, that's why it wasn't dull, because they went back and forth in different media.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It wasn't just like one camera in the woods kind of thing, and you're just looking at the same two people the whole time. No, it's an entire town, so you really feel that. And then, yeah, it's going back and forth with news footage and people's personal videos and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's very cool. And it's all wrapped up by the one girl that it's 3 years later or how many years later. And she was just it was her first day on the job as an intern or whatever for this place. And then she ends up getting thrown in it, and then it goes away for a few years, and it's a big cover up. And then she's hosting this, trying to host it. The acting is so believable by everyone. It just seems so fucking realistic to me. Mm-hmm. It's incredible. Very good movie. I almost fucking had it higher, But yeah, anyone that has fucking Netflix, and you get on that fucking thing, it's sitting there. Get it on your queue. Fucking at least get it there, but watch it. Watch it while you can, because it's a very good movie.
Cool. All right, so moving on down my list, we're on number 7.
7.
And that's one that we did a whole show on. It's The Conjuring. James Wan. I feel like James Wan put out 2 horror movies this year, but this one he really did a solid and made a ghost story. Made a period ghost story that I felt like it was worth putting on the list, because I'm not a huge fan of these kinds of movies, and I'm not really super familiar with the Amityville series or the Warrens or anything like that. So just knowing that these are real people, and whether or not you believe these events actually happen, it's just he did it so well. There's no wasted energy or film or fake anything in this movie. Everything was, I don't want to say unique, but it was all engaging. You know, it was never wasted. So he's a great filmmaker. So yeah, The Conjuring.
He is a great filmmaker, and I agree, it's a great movie. And for me, it's, you know, I have it lower. I enjoyed it more, and yeah, it's very good. You know, they had a nice big budget on it, and they did they did a great job with it. And Juan is a great director. It's just classic. Yeah, we did a whole show on it, but it's the best for me. It's probably the best ghost related thing to come out in quite a while. You know, I like it better than the Insidious movies, especially too. And but I do like it a lot. And yeah, it's fucking. They did everything right, man.
Yeah,
really, I mean, it wasn't groundbreaking, but it was just executed. You know,
executed almost flawlessly, and so that's the difference between a shit movie and not, because you could have gave this exact script and even like specifications for camera work and lighting and stuff like that to somebody else, and they could have fucked it up. So
right. Yeah. And the 70s feel was fucking great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, I probably said it on our, you know, I think we probably discussed it for a fucking hour and a half or what have you on our earlier show. But yeah, I really like that 70s feel. I watched it again not too long ago, and it was my third, I think, yeah, because I saw it twice at the movies. So it was my third viewing, and I knew what was coming. I knew what was around the corner, and I knew the jump scares, and they weren't as effective as they were at the movies, I'll say that. But it's still a solid ghost story, and anyone that's into that type of shit, you know, if they're at my house and we're stuck to watch something or whatever, I'm throwing that fucker in. You know? Oh, you like ghost stories?
If they're tied up at your house and you're not going anywhere, we're watching this.
Right? Yeah, it's like my poor wife, you know?
Yeah, put the lotion on your skin while we watch The Conjuring. I'm gonna make a flesh dress out of you. Jesus. So yeah, that's my number 7. What do you got for 7, Dave?
7.
Now, I don't know if you saw this. I recommended you see it, but you've been very busy. And it's a little movie called No One Lives.
Oh, that's right. No, I hadn't seen this.
Okay. Because I just saw it. I just, you know, I've been combing the internet when I had a couple extra days off and looking at other lists that people were doing. And asking friends advice and whatnot, and this movie kept popping up. People kept saying, "Yeah, check out No One Lives, check it out." So I did, and I was surprised. It was a fucking WWE fucking movie too. Yeah, and I'm into the wrestling, and somehow that's the strangest thing that it got by me. When WWE fucking does a movie, they advertise the hell out. You at least know about it. As a matter of fact, they always have a wrestler in it, in one, either a small role or a large role. This one was a small role, but whatever. Somehow it got by me, and I put it in, and I was like, wow, really? WWE film is going to be that good? And sure enough, it was. And
so
yeah, there isn't a whole lot I could say.
There is no wrestler in it?
There is a wrestler. He has a small role. Big Brodus Clay. Big boy.
I don't know.
And yeah, well, he gets killed fucking like 20 minutes in, and
so it's a slasher movie?
Yeah, it's a slasher, I would say. It's psychological. It's like one guy, and not even just psychological. Yeah, I guess you can classify it as a slasher. Yeah, but it's not, you know, not run of the mill. It's fucking one guy that you're not sure about, and confrontation with a gang, and it gets real deep. There's all kinds of shit going on.
Like a biker gang from Friday 3?
No, more like the ones from fucking what was it, the Texas Chainsaw, the beginning? Was that the biker gang?
Oh yeah.
It was some fucked up thing though. There's a couple assholes, and this guy you don't know about, and someone's kidnapped, and this guy there's a little bit of a supernatural element involved in it. And it's hard, without spoiling it, it's hard.
Well, I mean, the title kind of spoils everything, doesn't it?
Hey.
They need to change the title to WWE Presents Spoiler Alert, No One Lives. I mean, come on. I mean, the way people complain on the internet these days, that's a spoiler.
Well, let me tell you.
Oh, nope, don't spoil it.
I will tell you, when you get to the end of the movie, just fucking shoot me a text.
Okay.
After you watch it. After the statement you just made. No one lives.
All right.
But yeah, check it out, and fucking everybody out there, check it out.
Cool.
It's good. Took me by surprise, and it's good shit. So good old shit.
Yeah, if you're into shit, this is some good shit.
Have you made any New Year's resolutions, Chuck? Yes. You know how I always dread the whole year? Well, this time I'm only going to dread one day at a time.
No, my number 6, another sequel.
6, 6, 6.
And that's VHS 2.
Ding, 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 ding.
That's
Sorry,
your number 6?
We have a match again.
Hey!
Yes. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, I love this movie. I really liked it more than the first one just because they... I didn't like every segment, but it didn't feel long like the first one did. The first one was over 2 hours almost, and the segments you didn't like, that made you really not like them because it was just kind of elongated. This one was more streamlined. I feel like it was faster paced, but it probably was. It was. I think it was like an hour and a half, so it was a little faster of a movie, and at least one of the segments fucking knocked my fucking socks off. The Safe Haven segment was fucking intense. I just watched that segment again the other night. I found I think that one's fascinating. I love this. I love what they're doing with these. I love the found footage genre, and to have an anthology movie, is great. They've been coming back slowly with Trick or Treat and this. And it's great. They're always fun. You're not always going to like or love every segment, but that's fine. You're always going to get some gold out of it. And this one had more gold than the first movie, I think. So, yeah, number 6 for me. And for you, too.
Yeah. And you know what? You fucking nailed it. That is the reason. And it's funny because we just discussed this on the last show, and you didn't bring that up, that the first one, because we were talking about VHS being on the top 15 list.
Mm-hmm.
And...
Yep.
We were talking about VHS and liking 2 better than 1, and then by the end of it, I was like, you know what, I'm not sure. But now, as soon as you said that VHS, the original, was 2 hours long and seemed longer, that's what it is. I think that is the reason that I prefer 2 as well. I couldn't figure out why, because the stories, I was trying to, I was visualizing them in my head about, I think one had more than the others, but still, than the other. We didn't one have 5, one have 4. But
yes,
whatever.
Yeah, the first one had 5, this one had 4. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I was trying to compare and say, we discussed it on that show, and I was just like, well, yeah, that's the reason. This one is shorter, and there's one less, and they move at a faster pace.
Yeah, and the wraparound kind of story, it's not terribly different, but it's better. It's not. It's mostly the same, but it. They do a little something different with it, so I felt that was an improvement as well.
You know what? See, that's where I disagree.
Oh, really?
But it just might be. I remember it being confusing. I was confused by fucking. I remember having to rewind and go back at the end of VHS 2 to fully understand what I just watched with the wraparound. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it didn't make a lot of sense, but I felt like they were trying to maybe explain some more. I mean, sort of, but not really at the same time, because I'm sure they want to kind of keep making these for every year if they could, because
if they're that good, yeah,
because they can always bring in new directors and fresh, hungry talent and stuff like that, and see what they do with it. Like say the first segment, the eye segment. I didn't necessarily like that one all that much, but just technically, to get all those, to how they filmed it and stuff like that, I felt was an achievement. I felt that it was done really well. I don't know how they do all that shit.
Right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And obviously it's a small budget,
Mm-hmm.
which makes it even, more impressive. Same thing with The Bay. Obviously it's I even looked it up. I tried to see the budget on IMDb and it wasn't there. Mm-hmm. But same thing. When you have a found footage movie, it's usually known that the budget's not going to be very, very big. That's one of the advantages to making found footage, that you can do it cheap and fucking and make some money off it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what people do. And yeah, you know what? VHS, I agree, that was a good one. I liked them all. I liked every one of them in VHS too. I think I liked every one of them in VHS, in both of them. So it's a great series. Eventually, I fear it's going to jump the shark. Like they all do.
Yeah, has to, especially if they're gonna. I mean, look at ABCs of Death. I could not sit through that entire movie. I got to like G, I think, and I turned it off. I'm like, this is fucking. I can't do this. And they're making ABCs of Death too, so they're gonna put out some shit definitely. But
you know what though, when it shits the bed, it's gonna be like fucking like Creepshow 3 bad. I think that's what I fear is gonna happen. The fucking VHS eventually.
Yeah, that's fine, but I'll follow it until it gets there. It's like,
oh yeah, fuck yeah.
So we'll see.
I'm enjoying the ride. It's good. And about the wraparound thing, I think it was more basic in part one. In just in this one, it was just maybe if I watch it again, I'll appreciate it more. But when I will watch it again.
Maybe I just
remember 6. So.
I found it to be more scary in this one, and the ending with that kid. And him like giving the camera a thumbs up or flipping the camera off or whatever he was doing. That's just that just kind of sums up the whole attitude of the movie. It's just like, it's fun, go with it. Fuck it.
Right on. Mm-hmm. Yeah. They're good. VHS 2, fucking keep them coming. Hope they don't jump the shark fucking in 2013 or 14, whatever the fuck.
Where am I? Yeah.
I'm in the further. I'm in Shittiest 2 somewhere.
Oh God. Okay, so that was our number 6. Let's move down to my number 5.
5!
And that is a movie we already discussed. You're next. Number 5. Really like this movie. We've done a whole show on it. We just talked about it earlier. And so, yeah, no real need to talk about that anymore. What you got for number 5, Dave?
5!
I actually have a movie that you are going to have lower, definitely, or higher, as I should say. But it is Evil Dead.
Oh, yeah. Hey, good fucking movie.
Yeah, it is a good fucking movie. It's fun. It's gory. There's just some things I don't like about it, more than the other 4 that are going to proceed on my list. But, yeah, it's a good-ass movie.
And especially because you're like me, I think the first Evil Dead is the superior of the entire franchise. It's a fucking classic. It's a great fucking movie. It can't be duplicated at all. So for this to come out and for both of us, to like it, definitely says something that, I mean, it took me a couple viewings to get there, but yeah, this movie's great.
I'm only 2 viewings in. In the second viewing, I was falling asleep the last fucking 20 minutes. And that's not a knock on the movie at all. I just happened to be, it was just one of those things that I had a long day, or I was just genuinely tired that day, and I shouldn't have started it when I did, but I had a friend over, and I was fucking, I barely, this happens so infrequently with me, but I was nodding off the last 20 minutes, and that might have taken away from it a little bit. Maybe my third viewing, if we were to come back and do this might even be higher. But I saw it the once in the theater, and it was fun. And the second time, like I said, I dozed. So, but it was fun. I just don't love it as much as other people. A lot of other people seem to fucking really love it, And I like the gore and I like the story. That one guy kind of pissed me off. It was kind of annoying with the fucking. That he would even do that and take it off the barbed wire, do his decision making.
The defibrillator? What are you talking about?
No. Well, that's another story, right? The defibrillator is kind of silly, but the fact that the guy would go through all that length to freaking take something out of barbed wire and then fucking take the thing off and all
the
these
book, yeah.
Don't read the book, and he fucking reads the book.
Yeah,
I don't know why this day and age that bothers me. In the 80s, it wouldn't have. I guess you just don't see that in a movie. Maybe I should be more relaxed about it. Say, hey, it's like an 80s movie, so I should just be cool about it. But the rest of it's not like an 80s movie, so I guess it doesn't fit into that realm.
Sounding like an old man, Dave. Back in my day, a character would have never have read that book.
Yeah, well, there you go. I'm changing. See? What the fuck?
Yeah.
I'm liking these artsy films and fucking.
Yeah, you're starting to get hair in different places. I get it. That's cool. Happens to all of us, buddy.
It's this fucking show.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
It's changing me. We're cursed.
Yeah, yeah, fuck. I'm glad we haven't gotten a phone call from Ralph recently. Shit.
Yeah, fucking. Yeah, hang in there. It'll happen.
Yeah, no shit. All right, so my number 4 of 2013 is one that probably is nowhere near your fucking list, and that is Insidious 2. I really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was fun. I understand all the problems you've had with it, Dave. You've said it on many a podcast at this point, but I thought it was super fun. I thought it was the perfect continuation of the first one. It's not the same exact movie. They go somewhere else. It does recycle some scares and stuff, but I was fine with that. I just love the whole. It's not really time travel. It's just different kind of universe experience that the whole intertwining of things, the past lives maybe or something. All that stuff coming back together. I really enjoyed that. And I just felt like some people should have gotten murdered in this thing. Nobody really dies, unfortunately. So I had a blast with this movie. It's just another example that James Wan is a great director. And so there's no way this movie's on your list, right?
No, it's not.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, I'm not one bit happy about it. There's nobody that's more fucking upset about the fact that I don't love this movie or even like it than me. It's fucking.
You wanted to love it so bad.
Yeah. That's what the letdown is.
Yeah.
I was really into the first one. I was there opening night. It was the biggest letdown I've had since the fucking Ring 2. It was the same thing for me. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it really was. It just, to me, I wish I could overlook the things that everyone else, not everyone, I have heard. It's about, I don't know. It's about 7 out of 10 people really like it, but it is getting its flack as well. So yeah. I'm not completely alone. I have seen some other people with the same complaints as me. So it's not just me, but you see, like everybody that I'm friends with, and everybody I'm in the podcast world with, they don't feel that way. Yeah. So it's just kind of weird, but simply, it doesn't add up. The fucking the time travel does not add up. In Back to the Future series, it adds up. You can make sense of it.
Can you? There's plot holes you can find in that shit. It just
I don't recall. I don't know.
Oh, okay. All right. So, Biff Tannen.
Let's talk about Biff. All right.
Okay. So he gets the sports almanac from Marty McFly.
I love that aspect. Yes.
Okay. He goes to the past and gives it to his older self. Right? Okay. Then what does he do? He travels back to the future from that timeline, which can't happen. As Doc Brown later explains in the movie, if we leave this time now, it will be a different future. So we have to go back to 1955 and change it back then. So that own movie has its own hole right there. Did I just ruin Back to the Future 2 for you?
I don't know. I love Back to the Future 2. I'm one of the few, I think, that likes it as much, if not more, than the original.
Right. It's fun seeing two Martys in 1955 and that shit. And that's why I love these elements in this movie. Just made me smile, because it just warms my heart. That kind of thing. I just love that shit.
Wow. I haven't watched Back to the Future 1 and 2 in years, and maybe I have watched them several times, but maybe my young mind couldn't wrap itself around that back then.
Oh, and yeah. No, I didn't fucking think about any of this shit back then. But now it's like, wait a minute. If Biff,
right.
Travels and Doc Brown, yeah, it doesn't make sense. But, again, I love time travel as a story element. Love it. I will see anything.
I do too.
I even watched The Time Traveler's Wife because of time travel. Love it.
What's The Time Traveler's Wife?
It's a romantic story with
oh shit.
Yeah, with I can't even remember now, but anyways.
Oh, how about Time Bandits? Did you watch that one?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Seen it all, but Terminator, any of these, if you think about too much, the plot can never happen. You will always find a loophole with the time travel element. Always.
Well, let me tell you, in Insidious 1, it made sense. That's the difference. Everything in Insidious 1 held fucking up. But then what they did in 2 was try to explain things in 1 that already made sense, and then made them not make sense. It almost ruined Insidious 1 for me now. Because like, wait, that knock on the door, that's my biggest fucking
But
thing.
you never really saw who did that in Insidious 1.
No, but that's what made it scary, that there was a fucking... You know what I'm saying?
So there's nothing wrong with them adding this element onto it.
No, but it doesn't add up. He couldn't be there. Because I'll say it one more time. One thing. He's in the front. You know, he's in... I won't even say. I think you know what I've already said. Yeah. I think. I'm going to end up confusing myself with it. It's so fucking...
Go cross-eyed here.
You know, I'm going to go cross-eyed. It's fucking out of control because he's there in one realm and he's a good guy. And in the second movie, in Insidious 2, by that time, he's flipped. He's gone bad. Right?
He is in the physical state. But on this part of the movie, he's in the further, or he's in a, which can be considered another dimension, and this is a moment where time is irrelevant, and they're kind of merging together, and he's able to be there at the same time as himself in a spirit form.
Yeah, I've got to overlook it. I have to overlook it because it doesn't add up to me. And there's no simpler way I could say it. And I guess we're supposed to do that show with the fucking Skeleton Crew, and Dan and I are supposed to fucking go at it on it. And I guess I could try my best to explain everything there, but I don't want to turn this show into that show.
It's like...
I wish it added up. I'm so disappointed. And I tell you what, it was too fucking predictable. Mm-hmm. And it was predictable that the little boy was going to save the kid in this movie. It was predictable when those notes were playing that it was fucking... what do you call it? That it was going to be the song that she played in the beginning, that he was trying to play to her. I followed that as it went along. Knew all that was going to go down. Fuck it. And the shit at the end. I do have to watch it again to support my case. So I'm definitely going to watch it again. Mm-hmm. But from what I took from it, damn. I wish I enjoyed it. I wanted to, man. I almost feel bad knocking it, and I wish I could look past that shit. So. Yeah.
Well,
but we're going to have another discussion like this.
I'm sure. I'm sure. So, yeah, I mean, Insidious 2, I really liked it. It's my number 4.
I'm glad you did, buddy. Yeah. I'm glad you did. I'll say that. I'll leave it at that. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
What do you got for 4?
Salute.
4.
Yeah.
Number 4. Well, we already talked about number 4.
Oh, yeah.
It was I don't know what number it was for you, but it was further down, and Curse of Chucky.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I put it at 10. Okay.
Yeah. And
wow,
like I said,
really liked it. Okay, good.
There's nothing I could say that's bad about it. It really fucking impressed me, and I watched it for a second time today to see if I was going to put it ahead of, the others that I put it ahead of, and I go, fuck, it actually moved up. It moved up a fucking spot after today. After the second view, I was like, you know what? There's nothing bad I could say about this. Mm-hmm. So,
yeah,
it's fucking impressed the hell out of me, and came out of the left field. And I'm one of those people. I'm out of fucking Into the Child's Play series. And when I see Chucky alongside of fucking Leatherface and Michael and Jason and fucking the whole gang, I think he looks out of place. He doesn't belong there. He's not a heavy hitter. You know what I mean? I'd rather see Pinhead there or someone else. Whatever. I'm just saying. I'm not a fucking big Chucky guy.
Mm-hmm.
But this movie, it's modern horror with a fucking the feel of Child's Play 1 in a way, and they just do so many things right with it. So, yeah, I love the movie. What can I say?
Before we get to our top 3s, I got an email here that I just want to run down from Mr. Dave Burke. What's up, Dave?
DP.
Got 2 Daves going on. So, yeah, he just gave us his top 3. He says, yo, brother. I guess that's us.
That's me, actually. It's not even you. Sorry.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, because you guys are Daves. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it, man.
And you say yo. So
hey yo.
Hey, my top 3. 1, You're Next. 2, Evil Dead. 3, The Conjuring, and honorable mention, Stitches. He also goes on to say happy holidays to everyone at the Bananalaser crew. Thank you, Dave Burke, for the email. Really appreciate that, man. Yeah, good, solid flicks. I mean, I think these are all these movies are hitting both of our lists. I think they're all well made. Yeah, good, solid flicks. And, it's funny. It's just, I don't think if you take these three movies specifically, I don't think you or I would disagree that they are well-made films. Our level of enjoyment might differ, but that's just because of maybe the type of story that they're telling. I mean, we're talking about horror movies. That's a big net. There's lots of subgenres, and this is 3 different subgenres right here. So
yeah, that's true.
Everybody likes something different. We all can't be jerking off to The Shining every night. That's something totally different from, the Hellraiser and shit like that. So thanks, Dave.
Maybe the lady in the shower, though. Maybe you'll jerk off to her.
Before or after she's all mossy and shit like that.
I guess it depends on your taste, buddy.
Oh my God.
As long as it isn't the twins, it's okay with me.
Oh Jesus.
Not with me doing it, but it's okay if some guy is attracted to fucking, necrophilia doesn't bother me. If some guy's into it, that's his own business. Pedophilia, that's another story.
True.
So,
yeah, because
so anyway, yeah.
necrophilia, they're already dead. You're not going to ruin their death, But
right.
It's, yeah, okay, we're not getting.
If it floats to their boat, it's none of my fucking concern. Whatever, Right. But yeah, thanks for the email, Dave.
Yeah.
And two big Hollywood movies and one independent movie that fucking made the jump.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's cool too,
Yeah. So all right, let's move on down. My number 3. 2013. This is actually Dave's honorable mention, and I gotta thank Alex Edwards from the Skeleton Crew for bringing this movie to my attention. That's Stitches, the killer clown movie. I never thought in a million years I would ever say that I fucking love the shit out of a movie where the villain is a clown, but holy fuck, this movie took me by surprise, big time. I love everything is perfect in it. Not perfect, but the comedy is timed so well, and the overall look of the movie is fucking gorgeous. They have all these colors just popping and everything, and it's got great fucking kills. I just got a 55-inch 3D TV. I wish this movie is in 3D because some of the slow motion kills and stuff in this movie it's almost breathtaking. And it's fine to say about a slasher movie with a killer clown, but yeah, I've loved this movie. So that's my number 3. What you got?
Man, I wish I would have watched it again. It was on my list. It was one of those honorable mentions because I had 20 and whatever.
Yeah.
It was there, and I only saw it the one time. And when I saw it the one time, it was a bad feed. It was a fucking, I didn't see it in Blu-ray or even DVD quality.
It's a gorgeous movie. Oh, fucking gorgeous.
See, and not even that I didn't appreciate that. I had a little bit of difficulty with understanding some of what they were saying with their accents.
The dialect is pretty thick. Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And you know what? I kind of feel bad now for not going and watching it a second time before we did the show because it was right there. I was like, you know what am I going to have time to watch? And then I was looking at other lists and fishing around and checking shit out, and no one else had it mentioned. So I said, well, I really want to see this Stoker, and We Are What We Are. And sure enough, I'm glad I did. I really liked them. But I hope I didn't, do myself a disservice, do this list a disservice by fucking not watching it because now I'm definitely going to fucking watch it now.
It's, what it does.
Rent a Blu-ray or something.
Yeah, what it does is so many filmmakers today are trying to remake or redo an 80s slasher or 80s horror movie. And they always fall short for some reason or another. This one really encapsulates just the fun that you had watching an 80s movie. It's like a time machine. If they're to go back to Insidious,
there you go. Right.
Yeah, it's like it transported me back in time to when it was just so much fun to watch a horror movie, in the 80s. And I've never been afraid of clowns. It's never been I think it's almost the most stupid premise for a horror movie, just because I think it's kind of like the Child's Play thing. I think it's dumb. It's like a clown. It's not scary. It shouldn't be like a villain and stuff like that. But for some reason, man, they made it work in this movie, and so I love it.
Well, getting back to clowns, because I have points to make about the movie, but I'm not afraid of clowns, and I never understood why so many people are.
Right.
But whatever, I guess. But whatever. But tell me, did you like Stephen King's It? Did you like that movie?
Oh yeah.
I thought,
mm-hmm.
Okay, all right.
At least the majority of it.
Yeah, right. The first half for certain.
It didn't sour, but Tim Curry as Pennywise, get the fuck out of here, dude. He is
right, man.
Oh God, almost perfect. And
okay, I'm just making sure that this wasn't the first time that a fucking
no,
what you were saying about clowns.
But really, beyond that, what do you got? Clown House? Yeah, that sucked. What else?
I'll tell you what, the clown from Poltergeist is one of my personal fucking.
And that's a doll too.
Yes, granted, it's a doll. Right. Yeah, maybe that's why. Because it's a doll, and that doll situation is sometimes scary to me. Like puppets, like fucking mannequins. Yeah, mannequins in a way, but like what do you call them? The dummies, marionettes and whatnot, things like that, and ventriloquist dummies. Those things to me are a little bit creepy. Mm-hmm. Not clowns, but I think it just happened to be a clown in Poltergeist. It could have been anything, but the fact that it was a clown. It was just one that I was thinking about. But you found that scary also.
Oh yeah, in that movie definitely. And then there's also, I guess, Killer Clowns from Outer Space, and that's kind of in the vein of this movie. It's like, it's fun, it's weird, and it's also slightly horrific at times and stuff like that. So
I gotta watch it again. I really do. I watched maybe 10 minutes of it the other day. I watched the beginning and I was like, okay. And then I ran out of time. Something happened and I didn't go back to it, but I definitely am going to go back to it.
It's so silly, but just the effects in it. The ridiculousness of the look of the aliens, and shit like that, and it just looks so great,
Wait, there's aliens in this movie?
In Killer Clowns.
Oh! I was still on Stitches. Okay. Shit, holy fuck. I really did miss it the first time. Holy fuck.
You didn't see the spaceship at the end? Fucking pick everybody up? Holy shit.
Imagine that. The fucking film just ends. He just walks to a spaceship, it opens up and he gets beamed up and he flies off.
Got time to go back to my home planet.
It's like fucking Night Court. Did you ever see? Do you remember Night Court, that show?
Yeah,
what? Hold up. Hear me out. The last ever episode of Night Court, I'll never forget it. At the end of it, Bull Shannon, that big guy Bull?
Yeah.
He went up, he was in a spaceship. He was a fucking alien. He got beamed up and he left. That's how the show concluded.
Holy that sounds pretty cool, actually.
I never forgot that. I only saw it one time in my life, and it's, the fucking series finale as it happened, along with everybody else. And I fucking haven't seen it since, but that's the one thing I retain from it. Someone says, "Did you ever see the?" And it doesn't happen, but, that's just, I associate the series finale of Night Court with that and solely that. Bull being fucking beamed up and he was an alien the whole time. Huh. Yeah, that's fucking. So yeah, seek it out. See if it's on fucking Netflix.
Jesus,
I
might do that.
Any fan of Night Court should.
I did watch like the season finale of Alf or whatever.
Really? Did they beam him up or no?
No, it ended on a cliffhanger and the show got canceled. But
oh, really?
One afternoon I just watched the very first episode of Alf and then the very last for some reason.
That's fucking brilliant. Wow.
Yeah.
I watched the first episode of Saved by the Bell last week, and I didn't recognize half the cast.
Oh, the first season, I believe, is a lot different characters in that, yeah.
I just put it on for no fucking reason. I needed background noise. I think my daughter was there. Something was going on, and I had to put on something child safe.
You want to see AC Slater, just rippling muscles, and...
Was he even on season 1?
And his curly hair. I don't know.
That fucking guy.
All right.
Yeah.
So, what you got for number 3, Mr. Dave?
3!
My number 3 is another one we discussed already, The Conjuring.
Oh, yeah. Conjuring. Wow, you liked it. Yeah, you had it up there. Well, you're also big on the Amityville series, right?
Well, 1 and 2. I'm just big on ghost stories when they're done right, and there's just so damn few of them.
Yeah, true.
That's what it is. There really is. There's only maybe fucking 10. I don't know. There is. Oh, well, unless you count Ju-on, and then a whole lot more. Which, surprisingly, this is a big Hollywood movie with a big budget, and it's fucking great. And it's, that's not why it's great, but it's they do everything right, and Juan is fucking the man at stuff like this.
Mm-hmm. I think maybe I'm wrong, but maybe the reason I don't like ghost stories so much, and maybe why they can't land every time, is because they basically can do almost anything they want, right? Because it's a fantasy sort of element, so it's like, well, I want to make a giant banana come through the wall, and then fucking spit potassium all over everybody. I can do that, because you could just say it's a ghost. You don't know what the fuck, So, and for me, I don't know. It's just like it seems less plausible, I guess. So,
yeah,
maybe that's not for everybody. I don't know, but. Jesus.
Look, there it was. There's your fucking banana, son of a bitch. We haven't heard that shit in a while. But yeah, Ghost. But you know what? I just watched fucking Ju-on, 7 fucking movies, okay, including The Grudge American. I didn't watch The Grudge 3 American because that was direct to DVD. Has nothing to do with fucking anything whatsoever with the other Grudges or any of that shit. Actors, writers, nothing. So it's a piece of shit. But anyway, aside from Grudge 3 American, I watched them all. And I noticed one thing I love about The Grudge, or about, let me say Ju-on, that's what it is. One thing I love about Ju-on, and I mentioned it to my wife as I was watching it, I love that fucking character, that Kyoko, because she can do fucking anything. Appear anywhere. Once you're touched by the curse, once you set foot in that house, all rules are off. All rules are off. All bets are off. You have no limitations. This girl can do whatever the fuck she wants to torment you. And because of that, that's what makes it so great. So you can run around the corner thinking you're gone, and boom, she's in front of you. All of a sudden, there's fucking 10 of her. There's just different shit they do creatively in that thing, which to me is why it's scary. Because if you're in that situation, you're fucked. Mm-hmm. You can't beat that. It isn't a slasher, as much as I love a slasher movie, but a human that can be killed. This is something that once you step into this house, you're done. And that's what it is about ghost movies and things like that, that because you can bend fucking reality so much, that's what makes it that much, more scary to me. So
yeah,
that's what I like about this. But speaking of Hollywood and that shit and ghost stories, one thing I noticed, I watched all the Ju-ons and then I watched The Grudge, the Americans, right after. And the biggest difference was the Japanese movies, when something scary happens, it just happens, and there isn't music to fucking prompt you to jump.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that actually makes it scarier. Mm-hmm. That it's quieter. It seems more realistic. They might have music, but it's below the fucking... You know what I'm saying? If there's any music, it's
subtle.
low.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's subtle. It isn't a big bang jump scare. Because then I watched The Grudge after, and they had the same scares. Because Grudge 1 and 2 takes everything from Ju-on 1 through 4. Okay? Same director and everything, but Americanized. But it's made in America. So that's one of the differences, is that they put the music in there for the jump scares, and they don't work as effectively. And that's and it's strange. You would think, big budget and everything else. Sometimes less is more. So goes the saying. Mm-hmm. But in The Conjuring, yeah, they do big jump scares, and yes, they have lost some of the effect on me, because what I hold on to with The Conjuring is when I saw it in the movies, especially the first time, and everybody fucking jumped, and my wife was jumping and grabbing onto me, and it was scaring me. And I think I mentioned that when we did the show, that was... I think maybe I have it even in higher regard because I keep holding on to that first time I saw it. And it's just one of those things. It's just fucking a situation where, it was scary. Mm-hmm. So, but once again, I said it before, I love the feel of it, man. The 70s feel and the way they're dressed and the music they play and just the characters, the acting. It's just a fucking well-made movie,
Yeah, it is. Yep.
So...
Yes,
but we've
sir.
talked fucking more than enough, so sorry. About The Conjuring. Good God.
Yeah. All right. So that was your number 3. My number 2. Moving on down.
2.
We've already discussed it. That's Evil Dead. Love it. Number 2. I had so much fun. The second time I watched this movie. Once I got over the fact that it wasn't. Once I pushed my expectations aside, because you can't help but have a million expectations going into a movie like this. But at the same time, the trailer had me fucking hyped as shit. That trailer they made is one of the best trailers I've seen for a movie, because I was so pumped. Even before I saw the movie, I was like, this is going to be one of the best horror movies in the past 10 years. I was saying that. And that's stupid to think that, because I haven't even seen it yet. But so the first time, yeah, I enjoyed it, but I was like, well, that was okay, But then the second time, I was able to see it just for what it was as itself, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. I'm excited if they make more of these. I don't even know if that's a possibility or on the horizon. Who knows? We hear rumors all the time, but who the fuck knows? So, yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Someone made the point that this could have been a sequel. This could have been taking place in the same fucking realm as the original, and this is actually Evil Dead 4,
yeah.
And it would work that way.
Yeah, that totally works. I mean, yeah, there's some, like the car is there and stuff like that.
Right, right.
But the same, it's like, well, the car got sucked back in time,
Well, yeah, that's more tribute than anything. That's
Yeah,
just a
exactly.
nod.
But no,
but still,
you're right. It's just like, I'm blanking now, but there's some example to be had where it's like, Friday the 13th. It's like, it's just like the remake. Yeah, it's a remake, but it also, it's just like, it's just another Friday movie. It's like, it's in the same universe. It's got the same villain, and it's just another one. Yeah, it doesn't pick up any real continuity from a predecessor or anything like that. It's just another installment. Here you go. Check it out. And I like that idea of it. But yeah.
it's fucking good.
Yeah, Evil Dead, it wasn't scary, it had maybe one scary part, I think, but it really wasn't scary. That's fine. That's what the first one was to me. This one took gore and ran with it, and I'm happy for that, because hey, we love that shit. So
yeah, man, I'm happy about it too. And this is off topic, but it's about Evil Dead, so it's not entirely off topic. It's something I meant to ask. Do you remember this? I don't know if I've never brought it up to anybody, but do you remember in that movie when there was, how they kept reading the rules and this was going to happen? They kept seeing the shit that was going to happen.
Yeah.
It was kind of predicting the future. Okay. Remember I said something about having to collect so many souls and then fucking... Okay, I thought the first time I saw the movie that that the shit was going to hit the fan at the end of the movie because the dog died, and it was going to be a twist. They were going to count the dog as having the fucking soul, and he was going to be the last soul, and it was going to end fucking right then and there.
Oh, shit.
Do you think I was the only person that thought that?
I think so. Because Dave,
that would have been cool.
Everybody knows dogs are soulless. I mean, come on.
I thought all dogs go to heaven.
Yeah, okay.
Speaking of that, a guy I work with, this is funny. He told his daughter not too long ago, because maybe a dog died, or I'm not sure how the subject came up, but he told me the story. He had a dog die in the household or whatever, and his young daughter asked him something about dogs and, the whole thing, what's going to happen. And I think he said, don't you know that all dogs go to heaven? Or something. And I don't know if he mentioned there was a movie about it or not. But anyway, after that, she decides to ask him later, or maybe directly after. Either way, she asked him about cats. He goes, well, what about cats? You know what his response was?
Fuck cats?
He goes, no, he said, he goes, nobody knows what happens to cats. That's so funny. That's
they go
exactly
back
the
to
words
their
he used.
They go back to their home planet. Those motherfuckers. So strange.
All dogs go to heaven, honey, but cats, nobody knows. That's the way he said it. That cracks me up. Yeah. But I will say something about fucking Evil Dead. and Jamie Jenkins mentioned it on the Skeleton Crew, and this might have made this movie my number one. Fucking, if it would have happened, if they would have fucking played Slayer Raining Blood when when it started raining blood, seriously, if it would have fucking kicked in, and did the fucking thing, holy fuck, and the blood fucking starts raining. Oh, I would have fucking been fist pumping, and it might have made number one. That's how fucking simple I am. Because I think it's brilliant that she. As soon as he said that, I listened to the Skeleton Crew. As soon as she said that, I was like, "Holy fuck, that's fucking amazing!"
I bet somebody did that on YouTube. Probably go check that out.
Really?
I'm guessing everything seems to be on YouTube.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So who knows?
This is true.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is a great movie, and I know why you have it at. It's 2, right?
Yeah, number 2. Yep. Mm-hmm.
I know why you have it there. A lot of people love it. It's one of those movies that it is debated, like most remakes are.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I can't wait to watch it again because last time I was dozing. So, if nothing else, talking about these movies have made me say, hey, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna watch Stitcher again. I'm gonna watch Evil Dead again, and whatever else we've talked about.
Mm-hmm.
So that's cool. So yeah, fucking rock on, Evil Dead.
So what you got for number 2?
2.
I have a remake myself, and that is Maniac.
Ah, yes, Maniac. Okay.
And I fucking loved it.
I'm that's cool because I know how much you love the original.
I do like the original. Yeah, of course I do. It's fucking, gritty, Tom Savini fucking makeup effects and the whole night. And the thing is, this, not only does it stay true to the original in many ways, even the music they use and some other things, it also takes on a life of its own, and it's done brilliantly. And it's a fucking great performance by Elijah Wood. And what they do with it, fucking, the first half, the way it's made, the first half, you never see his face. It's always a reflection or through something else. The way it's filmed, it's fucking great. And the gore and the story, it's just all around. Yeah, it took me by surprise in a way, but there was a buzz about it. So people were saying, hey, this Maniac is actually pretty good, believe it or not. When you first hear about it, come on, Elijah Wood, and the fact that they're remaking Maniac to begin with, you're like, I'm not sure how I feel about that. And then, then Elijah Wood is cast as the lead.
He's a surprisingly extremely cool dude. This was his first movie from his production company that is strictly going to make horror movies. So I was surprised to hear that.
Wow, really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No shit. Did you see the other one he did? The fucking Woman in Black?
No.
I did not either. Okay.
Daniel Radcliffe?
Oh, wait a minute. Am I getting Daniel Radcliffe confused with fucking...
Yeah, that's Harry Potter. Yeah, they look kind of similar.
I'm getting fucking Frodo confused with Harry Potter. That's what I'm doing. My bad. What the fuck? I thought he was in that too because I never watched it. I just... Okay. But it makes sense. Harry Potter and fucking Lord of the Rings were big franchises at the same time. Yep. They're both fucking
big fantasy.
Short guys with dark hair.
Yeah, they're both totally bangable. Yeah, I get it.
And I love both series, fucking, straight up. Mm-hmm. So, I, for whatever reason, I was thinking Wood was in that. Yeah, okay. But yeah, the fucking POV shots they did, and the thing at the end. What was that? Fuck, I know you got something to say about it.
It was definitely different. I mean, the style. I didn't even know that it was going to be a POV movie. I mean, there was, POV elements in the original, and I really love Joe Zito as the fucking the main character is just so slimy and sweaty and greasy, and so to see what they did in this one, it was interesting. It was a different take, but at the same time, they didn't shit on the original either, so that's good for them. But I
love what they did with the mannequins too. That whole thing, the story, and
I did like that part better. Yeah, because it was more fleshed out. Yeah.
It made sense. It made more sense as to why he was doing what he was doing, and because in the first one, it's not really explained. He is a maniac in every sense of the word, and whatever, and he does the scalping and everything else. But his whole life is about mannequins. There's just they dive deeper into fucking him and why and his life and all the shit with his mother. It's elaborated on much more in this. So. Mm-hmm. It's one of those old. It's like we haven't seen a movie like that in a while that really gets into the mind of the killer. It's almost like watching Henry from the 80s.
That was why. Yeah, that was why I felt the original was really good. It's just you don't see those movies from this angle, and even though it could be it's clearly a disturbed individual. I mean, there's something to them. They're still a human being. There's a reason why these things are happening. Stuff like that. They're not just a mindless shark, swimming through, killing people and stuff like that. So, it's definitely fascinating. And you're right. I did like that part about this movie. It seemed to be more fleshed out and more elaborated on. So, before we get into our number ones, I want to play a voicemail I got from Cosmic Creepers.
Hi, Bananalaser. This is Cosmic Creepers. You have requested my top 3 picks of horror movies of 2013. Number 3, The Conjuring. Number 2, Evil Dead. And my number 1 pick is The Lords of Salem. Peace out, lasers.
So Cosmic Creepers. That I love that guy's voice. I don't know what he does, but if he's not on the radio, he needs to be.
He should work for Movie Phone.
You have selected Air Force One, starring Harrison Ford, rated PG-13.
Very good.
There's some good solid picks. Number 1, Lords of Salem. I have a funny feeling that's going to mirror you, Dave, but who knows? I have no idea ultimately, but who knows? The Conjuring, Evil Dead, Lords of Salem. I mean, like them or love them, they're all. I'm glad these movies exist. I don't like Lords of Salem that much. Yes, I put it at number 13, but I'm glad it exists.
Yes.
Because it just shows that we're not as a genre, we're not pigeonholed to certain things, to Freddy's and Jason's and stuff like that. There's room for uniqueness, and whether it lands in your mind or doesn't, I'm glad it's out there because it's his vision, it's what he wanted, and so I'm glad for that. So,
good list, thank you.
Yeah, Cosmic Creepers.
Yes,
thank you for submitting that voicemail.
You guys should go into business. You and fucking Cosmic Creepers, man. Is there still a Movie Phone around?
I don't know.
You guys should do something together. Get them on the show, and I don't know. We'll have to come up with something for fucking Bananalaser LLC idea of the week.
Yeah. So, thanks for that voicemail. Let's get into my number 1. I was trying to be coy about it, but my number 1 is fucking Maniac, dude.
Yes! I was hoping. But I kind of had a feeling, so I kind of let up at the end.
Oh yeah. I was trying not to let on. Dude.
You did a good job. I played dumb.
This movie is it's fucking brilliant to me how well and engaging it is, and the style of it is. I thought the POV was going to stop after the first kill. I'm like, okay, that was just like an element for this first part, and now it's going to be over. Nope, going to keep going. But it's not necessarily all POV. The times when they come out of the POV, and you could see, as an omniscient, character, is fucking. It just blew my mind. It was so perfectly done. The way they elaborate on his character. You're right. How they establish how he's into mannequins, why he's fucked up because of his mother and his upbringing and all this stuff. I already loved Elijah Wood as an actor, but seeing him do this and seeing his crazed, frantic state, I mean, it brings this dude to life. And it was fucking gore. The gore scenes were fucking beautiful. Loved every second of it.
Man.
Oh my God. I don't know why people don't like this movie. I've heard people bitch about it, and I even love the original. As I said, I love it. But dude, this one's way better in my opinion. This one, it trims all the shit and it makes more sense, and you still get the gore, you still get the POV stuff to the extreme almost. And it's love it. Love this fucking movie, dude. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what Elijah Wood's going to do in the future with this company. If he keeps making stuff like this and doing projects like this, God bless him, because this movie is brilliant. Love it.
Yeah, right on. It sure as fuck is. And something else about Elijah Wood, his character in this is you relate. Maybe not relate. You're more sympathetic towards this character than Joe Zito.
Yeah, because like I said, he feels like a human being, even though obviously, we're not killers or, crazed individuals or anything like that, but you understand why he sort of is the way he is, and you kind of be like, okay, I see why you're doing this. It makes sense, and it's fucking insane. You're a crazy person, but that's just fuck.
But it's kind of true to life. It's kind of like what real maniacs out there. A lot of them, everyone has shit in their past. Some is more heavy than other people's, but everybody has some shit. Basically, for the most part. Some people that are already a little fucked up to begin with, that shit just happens to flip them and put them over the edge, and this was his baggage. This is what it was. There's no reason you can't defend him, but whatever. If you're sick to begin with and that happens, it seems, maybe true to life is the wrong term that I'm using, but it just seems like, maniacs that are really out there, this is something that it mirrors fucking some of their lives, in a way. And it's kind of cool also about Elijah Wood is that he's more, he's a young guy. He's not a bad-looking guy. He goes on the internet and he gets the girl. It's different than
It makes sense why he would actually get with these chicks, because he's attractive, and he's not as charismatic as he necessarily should be, but that's because he's good-looking, that's all he needs, kind of thing. And so, that made a lot more sense. Whereas Joe Zito, like I said, he's so slimy and dirty. There's no way a chick wants to sleep with that guy. No way.
That's true. And you can really relate to that fucking scene. I could. When he went on the internet and he met that girl and he went on the date, and you're still seeing it POV. And then, she's a nice-looking girl, and then you go back to the apartment. That seems like something that would have and did happen in my life. Like, I could really put myself in that position up until the part when he fucking, till he kills her. But, I mean, you're almost living it with him, and it's kind of exciting. He meets the girl, and she's not bad-looking, and the way the night's going, you feel fucking excited for him in a way, especially because you're seeing it through his eyes, POV style, And that part particularly, the first kill is cool with the quick one with the knife, but the second one, the situation with her and meeting her and going out, and then you see he has the whatever disease spells at dinner, but then whatever, he regroups and he gets her home, and she puts on the fucking tune from Silence of the Lambs, which is great.
I love that. I thought people were like, oh my god, they're reusing this song, and it's like, oh, it fits perfectly in it. I mean,
yes, yeah.
Who cares if it was used somewhere else?
It's done intentionally. It's a nod to fans of the genre or whatever. It's cool. It's fucking, people know that tune. Fucking Goodbye Horses. And it's a famous scene too. Not Maniac, but I mean Silence of the Lambs. It's some thing that everybody talks about when that music's playing in that movie. So it's relatable and it's cool. It isn't like they ripped off. Even if they would have ripped off, music from one of the movies, that could have been fun too. But whatever. I like the fact that they did it. It was cool, and that whole segment is cool. And then the relationship with the girl, and then the way it plays out at the end. Holy fuck!
Yeah, it fucking It's I love it. There's not a scene in this movie where I don't feel anxiety and tense, because that's they did it right, you know. And maybe that's all because of the POV, you know. Maybe it wouldn't be the same otherwise, but I don't know. It just all works for me front to back. And you know, one thing I can say that I don't like about this movie, it's not really the movie itself, but it's the fucking artwork on the cover of the goddamn Blu-ray is one of those thrown together, photoshopped kind of covers. I don't know if you have it, but I love posters and great cover work. And the original poster for the original Maniac is, I love it. You know.
Oh yeah, I have that T-shirt actually.
Love it. And so when I pick this movie up that I fucking love, and it's this fucking piece together thing where it's Elijah Wood's face and just a knife and some shattered glass, and I'm like, this is fucking stupid. I fucking hate that cover.
Let me tell you something about that. Speaking on the subject of covers, I bought the fucking Blu-ray when it came out, and it's one of those situations where there's an alternate cover, and it's a fucking badass cover. It's sweet. So
okay.
Yeah, so that they righted that wrong. It was like, you know how they do it for those the movies, the slashers from the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they'll put the new one on, and then they'll still include the old one,
Yes.
so you can display that.
Love that. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like that. It's almost like they did that for a reason. It's cool, but I'll put it up on the Bananalaser page.
Okay.
The alternate. Yeah, it's fucking sweet, man. So at least they did that for you.
Yeah.
If that's your one gripe, guess what, buddy? You're fucking in. They rectified it.
Sweet. Perfect.
You know, yeah. But you know, one more thing about the movie: the relationship between them is more believable. Where in the other one, it really wasn't. That he's going to be hanging out with this model girl and everything else, and it's played up so well because she has a boyfriend. He finds out the way he finds out, and he's clearly interested in her. And it's one of those things that mirrors life. Every guy's been in that position, I think. You know, with that girl, and you're not really sure, and you think maybe you're the back burner guy, but you don't know 100%, and you stick around for whatever. And you know what? It may have paid off with him. I think she did have an interest in him as well, and she was just kind of stringing him along, but also putting him in the friend zone. You know, and that was just one more thing. It was just a very well-written movie. The dialogue is good. The relationship between them is so much better than it was in the original. And it echoed the original with some of the kills and the subway station stuff and the stuff, and you know, the things they did.
I really like that. Yeah. I really like that.
Right. It was, that scene was great too, and it was in the original as well. You know, it's a great segment, that subway chase. It's fucking scary being there, and it's late and you're the only one there. That's fucking scary shit.
Yep.
You know?
And just the plausibility of it all, like obviously we're guys, but the plausibility of a woman being chased like that by just a random guy, you know, just seems so real to me, you know, and just like that's frightening, you know.
Yeah, it is, and the ending was good too. I like the ending better in this one where it's actually kind of explained.
Oh, the ending of the original Maniac, it's good, but it's like you know, what's going to be your number one pick? It's like artsy fartsy kind of stuff that's just like, isn't this cool, you know, kind of thing. So I'm speculating on your number one pick.
No, hey, you know what's up.
So yeah, let's get to it, Dave. What you got for number one, buddy? One,
ladies and gentlemen, to no one's surprise, Lords of Salem.
Boom, boom, boom.
Fuck you. I'm sorry, man. This fucking movie, the first time I saw it, it fucking just spoke my language.
Yeah.
That's all I could say. I sit down, it fucking took me right in. And I'll tell you what, I want to hear some of your beefs with it. And I want to fucking retaliate a little bit, just a little bit, because I know you have some beats with them.
Yeah, sure.
And I think I might be able to steer you in the right direction a little bit, because I think I've done it already with a few other zombies movies.
I think, you have.
I listen to the commentary. See, that's what I'm saying. And I listen to the commentary.
Okay.
And it also opened my, you know, me, who already loves it, it also, you know, taught me a little more about his vision. So...
I've only watched it once, and
that's true.
And I should love it because, like you were talking about Kubrick and stuff like that earlier, like 2001 is one of my all-time, and The Shining, one of all-time favorite movies.
Nice.
They're very visual, very you know, heavy themes, but nothing is like, especially 2001. Nothing is told to you straightforward, and at the end of it, a giant space baby. What the fuck? You're left with so many questions that don't make sense, but it's the feeling that it invokes in you. And so for that, this movie should be a home run for me. It should be a no-brainer. It's horror, it's stylistic, and it should be no problem. I should sink right in. But I have a problem. One of the problems is with the Sherry Moon Zombie. Not a fan of her, although she was okay in this movie.
Sure she was.
She was okay, but that she was just okay, you know. And it's like, well, somebody else probably could have done something a little better. The fucking shit at the end, not, or maybe not at the end. I don't really remember, but it's like some of the imagery of the priests and the masturbating. And then, like, the fucking midget in a fucking little wetsuit and stuff like that. I understand. I get what all of it means. You know, I understand. It's just when I see stuff that's, like, that shocking on screen, all of a sudden, it just takes me out of it, and I just start rolling my eyes like, oh, okay. You know, like, oh, that's... You know, that's Satan or whatever, and these priests represent, you know, the evils of you know, the wants of man and stuff like that, and the sexuality of man and all that stuff. You know, I get it, but it's just so like shocking and stunning. It's like it just takes me out of it. So I don't know.
See, but that's okay. See, that you're talking with the right guy, because I can meet you halfway.
Yeah.
On it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not fucking blinded to it. And it's like I said the very first time I saw it. I came home and I said, my words, I don't know exactly what they were. It was something along the lines of, I fucking really like this movie. However, I think it's going to be highly debated for years, and I do not recommend it to everybody. Mm-hmm. But if it speaks your language or something, then fucking you just might love it. And it's funny because I was talking to a guy the other day I work with. He knows about the show. And he said, so I told him that we were going to do the show. And he goes, what's your number one? He said, tell me right now what it is. I'll say, I'll tell you something about it. I'll say, I'm going to tell you this is my number one movie, easily, of the year, because I love the movie. However, I am not going to recommend it to you. Mm-hmm. I know that's strange. That's fucking strange to say. But being that this guy seems like he's kind of, I don't know. He just doesn't seem like he'd be into that kind of movie, even though he likes horror movies. That's what I said. I go, I know that sounds strange, but I'll stand behind that. I go, check it out. Maybe you'll like it. And he said he liked Thousand Corpses and something. I said, okay. I said, check it out. I said, but don't hold it back. Don't hold it against me if you don't like it, because I just told you that I can't recommend it to everyone. It's just one of those reasons. And also, that's part of the charm, too. I guess just the fucking rebellious soul that I am. Mm-hmm. That speaks to me on that level, too, that not everyone's going to like it or get it or whatever. But, and I'll say something else. The thing with the jelly fucking midget thing.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah, sure, it's fucking ridiculous. And Rob Zombie said that himself.
Okay.
He goes, sure. He goes, that's ridiculous, he said. Right? And then he was talking about how Sherry Moon fucking didn't like it at all. Didn't like it being around her. And he's talking about the scene when he's impregnated, and that's supposed to represent Satan. Now, he didn't say this, but what I was thinking of, I don't think that you or the people that don't like this movie would have liked it any more if he did something stereotypical. But you don't want to see a fucking guy with a pitchfork and horns, and you don't want to see a guy with a goat face and, you know, a goat horns or something like that there. It would have been, I don't think you could have done that. Or even if they did do that, I don't think it would have changed anything for you. Yeah. Or anybody watching it. So why not do something fucked up? People would have rolled their eyes if he would have been a stereotypical devil, Satan. It was that's so fucking. How do you portray the devil? If you're in the,
I mean, if you're going on with a similar movie that's like Rosemary's Baby, well, it has images of the demon or Satan in that movie, but I believe it's just like some close-up stuff, and it's mostly left to the imagination. You know, they could have done something like that, I guess. Yes,
they could have, but he wanted to show things in this movie, and he did. He showed a lot of shit. Mm-hmm. You know, and I got two numbers for you: $2.5 million in 22 days.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's the fucking budget, and that's the fucking shooting they did. $2.5 million was the budget for this movie, and they filmed it in 22 days. I think that's
high and tight right there, yeah.
Yeah, considering what they were working with, and I'm not making excuses because I'm not defending it because I love it. But he was talking about it also during, and there's some other days when the camera guy didn't show up on time, something happened. He wasn't making excuses either. He did not fucking say, it wasn't that he was doing that. He was just saying, well, this day this happened, and he was just talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's 22 filming days, but not big Hollywood filming days, where it's a situation that you're put in that there can be mistakes, and you can't rectify it with a fucking snap of a finger.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Where a movie like The Conjuring has a $20 million fucking budget. That's just something else about the movie. He wanted to go low budget. He wanted to do a vision that he had, and he did it. And it's for me, it's engaging from the first frame. As soon as, even the beginning when she's in the car sitting there driving home somber, and they're playing that music, and it's like a bass that goes boom, boom, boom. Anyway, it's just I'm hooked on it. And then they go to the old witches from the old day, and it's intense, man, the shit they do. And then it goes on, and the way the credits come out at the beginning, the Lord of Salem, and it's a goat's face that turned around. It's fucked up looking.
I love that part, yeah.
Right, yeah, it's cool as fuck. And then the music, the song they play, that fucking thing, as soon as I hear it, I don't know, it's just, it creeps me out, but I fucking love that feeling that it gives to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, everything about it, the way it looks, the way it sounds.
It's just, I guess I just wasn't, ultimately I wasn't satisfied, but at the same time, this is not really the movie where it's supposed to do that. It's not supposed to have the Devil's Rejects ending of the ultimate death and the ultimate, it's not really supposed to be like that. It's supposed to be what it is, just the thought and the feelings that it provokes in you overall and stuff like that. So
yeah,
I don't know.
It's I understand why people don't like it, and it's, once again, it's not for everybody. But I'm its target audience, man. That's all I can say.
My 13 is your number one. It's so good.
I know, right? Watch it again. See what happens. And maybe what I just said about the devil fucking sunk in a little bit. How you gonna get by that? And the stuff at the end, everything that was going on at the end was shit that happened earlier in the movie. Was kind of summing things up.
Yeah.
And I learned that in the commentary. Mm-hmm. That one I learned. He was talking about it. And the ending scene. Speaking of music, in the end of the movie, he specifically wanted that to end that way with that song and everything. He had it all fucking in his mind before it went down.
Oh, like the part with her and her dog at the end.
Oh, and I wasn't even talking about that.
Oh, okay.
But I do love that part. But I don't understand why anyone's confused about that thing with her and the dog at the end. That is the same thing they did at the end of Devil's Rejects when the people were getting fucking whacked and gunned down. It wasn't afterwards. It was showing when she was a happier person playing with the dog.
No, I got that, yeah.
Well, a lot of people I've heard got confused by it, and they said, how come they were showing her doing that after supposedly the baby is born?
Those people are just idiots. I mean, come on. Come on. Clearly it's not the same time. It's before. Jesus. God.
You see? But that's what's going on there. And that's cool as fuck. And I love the way it ends when they play it, the news feed, and the shots they're showing around town, and the way the cinematography. That's what I'm saying. $2.5 million. And they did so much with the fucking cinematography of that. It's fucking, I don't know. It's incredible to me. And it's not a 5-star movie. Like I said, no movie was to me this year. Mm-hmm. It's not without its flaws. It's not my favorite Rob Zombie movie, But I still love the movie. It's still a great movie. It's just, I'll say it again. It's not for everyone, but
yep.
For the people listening out there that fucking love it, hey, I'm here for you. And if you don't like it, well, whatever. Fuck off.
That's good. I mean,
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, fuck off. Like I said, I don't really like it, but I'm glad that it's there. I'm glad it's as polarizing as it is because, we need that. If everything was the fucking same, then it would all be shit. You know what I mean? So I'm glad that it's that unique and that, polarizing of a movie. Even though I don't like it, I'm glad it exists, and I'm glad it made people that crazy.
And I'll tell you what, there are some scenes in that movie where I particularly enjoy the dialogue and situations. I like when the fucking guy figures things out, and he comes to talk to Heidi, and then she's all doped up by that time, and the witch's plot. I love everything about the plot. I like what they did. And when he came in there, and he was talking to the three witches, and that whole fucking thing, and you know how you see it shift gears in the middle of the conversation. Did you come here to stick your dirty cock in her brain and fuck her brain? Oh, that shit's great. And then the girl comes up, fucking D. Wallace comes with a fucking frying pan, whacks him in the back of the head, and the blood starts flowing. She goes, oh, that felt good. And fucking the other lady's all calm. Let's have some tea. Oh, it's fucking...
Jesus.
It's just, I really have no issue with the plot. So anyone that has an issue with the plot, ask me something and I'll tell you. I'll explain that away.
I never had a problem with the plot. Yeah, it was
that's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
understand.
To me, it was extremely simple and easy to understand. I got it. You know, it's just and I even understand all the visual elements of it. I think I understood everything. You know, but it's just I just didn't care for them, and it really just took me out of it ultimately. So.
Well, I'm telling you, I think if you watch it again, I'm not saying it's going to go to number 1 on your list of 13, but it might go from like 13 to like, I don't know, 6 or 7.
Surely it could beat out Texas Chainsaw 3D, right?
I think it will. I think, although 3D, who knows?
Yeah,
3D,
no shit.
You got the TV?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Watch out, you know? Sometimes, My Bloody Valentine, the first time I saw it in the theaters, 3D, fucking loved it. It's done nothing but decrease for me since that fucking first time.
Oh, yeah. See?
It's the 3D. Sometimes it works great.
Mm-hmm.
That's all there is to it, you know?
Yeah, so, wow. So, yeah, guys, that's our 13 and 13, and it's a good list.
It's a nice picture. Sorry. Fucking, what do you got? The Hitchhiker, Texas Chainsaw.
Oh, God.
You can pay me now. It's a nice picture. Because it could have been anything, you know? It's like, it's a good list. It could have been a shit list, you know? We'll see what people say.
True, yeah. Yeah, who knows? But, yeah, 2013, I mean, it's been one hell of a fucking year for us here.
Yeah.
You know, Dave and I started this back in, May, June, and Dave and I only met this year, so for us to come together and be doing this, and for other people to respond to it, it means the world to us. So thank you to all the listeners for your support, all your just everything you do, even a comment, a Facebook like. I don't care. I'm just glad you guys are out there and having fun with it like us, and I think 2014 is going to be so much bigger and so much better. We got so much stuff planned. It's almost ridiculous.
Year of the banana.
Yeah, there we go.
But it's all thanks to the fucking listeners and everyone that's helped us out,
Yeah, specifically Alex Edwards, Skeleton Crew, and those guys. Huge supporters of the show and just participating in that. Can't thank them enough. Also, 100% Jason Lloyd over at horrorphilia.com.
Right on.
That guy is the man. We would be a fucking frozen dog turd if it wasn't for him. So thank you, Jason, as always, man. And and thank you, Dave. I mean, shit. I wouldn't be sitting here doing this if it wasn't for you. And I love every second of it, and even the hours it takes, to do all this stuff. I wouldn't change it for anything. So thanks, Dave. I appreciate everything. Hey,
man. Thank you. Same here. I echo every sentiment about everything you said. And this guy here, he is the fucking Wizell the Wizard. This fucking dude. The shit this dude's done fucking with the production, we're fucking 20 shows in, and the shit that's been done that this guy fucking works on, you guys hear it when you listen to the show, and none of it would be possible without him, and none of it, the whole fucking thing since May and June, we got very lucky. That fucking we came in, and it didn't take us long to fucking hit stride, It was a fucking a perfect fucking situation. So we set out to do it, and we got fucking very lucky, and it's because of fucking everybody Matt mentioned, and fucking fucking Alex and Jason and everybody, the fucking, and all you listeners, and I'm just fucking
and
going
fucking,
on and on.
Fucking.
Am I? See, I'm
fucking.
Yes. Yeah, it's been a great year. Not even a year. It's fucking, but this whole experience of this year has been fucking fantastic, and we hope that fucking we can keep it fucking rolling in 2014. I don't see why we won't.
Oh yeah,
So-
we're definitely going to keep just climbing. We're going to keep ratcheting up what we do. I mean, we've already changed. We do different formats of this show constantly, and that's not going to stop next year. We're going to do so much more in content, so much different varieties of shows, different movies, and just keep on doing it. So thanks to everyone. Thanks, Dave. And with that, we are going to get out of here and talk to you fuckers next year.
Yeah, out of here like last year.
See ya.
Later.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year!
It's been a great year, Chuck. You'll have to admit that. What do you think, Chuck, would be good rules for living in the new year? Keep the ball low. Don't leave your crayons in the sun. Use dental floss every day. Don't spill the shoe polish. Always knock before entering. Don't let the ants get in the sugar. Never volunteer to be a program chairman. Always get your first serve in. And feed your dog whenever he's hungry. Will those rules give me a better life, Chuck? A better life and a fat dog.